Hey guys, it's we're back again. It's the Bad Dinner Guest. I'm Kev,
I'm Lou.
and we are joined today by our good friend Nate. Nate, say hi to the people.
Hi, everybody.
All right, so Nate is here to talk with us about I think it's a really fun topic. I don't know if fun's the right word, but
Depends on your definition of fun. I think it's fun.
I like getting scared. I think it's really fun to get the shit scared out of you.
It's a thrill.
Is that why you do it, Nate? Is it a thrill ride?
Uh, no, not necessarily. It's just fascinating, and to possibly see that there may be, another side and investigate that.
Okay.
Okay. And for those who haven't picked up on it yet, based on our picture or what we're talking about here is some paranormal activity, if you will. Nate here goes to different haunted sites and checks them out and investigates them. And our buddy Lou has done that at one point in time.
Yeah. About 10 years ago, I went to Green Lawn Cemetery here in Columbus, Ohio. That was fun.
Nate, you been there?
No, I haven't, but been to Waverly and been to Ohio State Reformatory. So
How was the reformatory? Because I want to. That's how I'm going to break myself into this game. I think it's going to be the first place I want to go.
sorry about that. It was. I mean, there was a lot of people there. I mean, it's not only it was not only a prison, the prison with the largest freestanding cell block, but it was the set of Shawshank Redemption as well. So it's got a lot of clout behind it. So a lot of people do come there. Not too much, I will say, happened, but honestly, when you go and do these investigations and you put yourself in these places, you can't really expect anything to happen. If you go in with the mindset that all this stuff is going to happen, like what happens on paranormal TV shows, whether it's ghost hunters, ghost adventures, whatever you're into there, you're not going to have a good time, and honestly, probably not anything's going to happen. So, compared to my experiences with Waverly, not too much has happened, but a few things were a little head scratcher, to say the least.
That's cool.
And you mentioned, because that's one of the reasons I want it to be my first, is I don't know if you guys know this, it only costs about $100 an hour to film there.
Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine, you know him, Jack Shivani, he shot a music video there for somebody, and it only costs $100 an hour to shoot there. And so I always thought, well, yeah, I'm going to do my first ghost investigation and also be on the clock, scouting it as a possible location. Because we've had a couple of different ideas that could fit into that in a prison or
definitely
whatever. So yeah, I think it's really cool. But I also could see how that could cheapen the
experience,
the investigation side of it, where there's going to be so many tourists there and people like me who are there just because they think it's cool. They're there to check it out, and it could sort of muddle the area,
Fair enough.
make it harder to find some things. Go ahead, Nate.
Sorry, you just got to be patient is the big key, and if you go with a group, I would suggest splitting your group up. You can't help when there's other people around, and sometimes that's how it happens. But if you've got a group of more than 3 or 4, definitely split up.
We always did, because I think the most we ever did was 6 people, and then we split up into 2s.
Yeah, because I'll get into it further down the line, but this last time went to Waverly, I mean, there was probably 20-ish people, but it's a big enough place, and it was just my buddy and I, so it's a lot more conducive to things possibly happening.
Definitely.
So this is definitely not your first time going to Waverly. How many times have you been?
This will be my 3rd.
This will be your third time. So, what is the coolest thing that's happened to you so far?
Well, I would say, not. Okay, the best way I can explain this is I was in the cafeteria, sitting in a chair. My buddy was standing, but he was off to the side. We were just asking questions, and all of a sudden in front of me, and to preface this, there is a linoleum tarp, or like a clear opaque tarp, where you could kind of see through, but not really. And I was looking right at it, and I saw a shadow walk all the way across it and disappear into a pillar. Now, nobody was moving behind me, and nobody was in front of me, and I thought, maybe somebody out in the hallway was moving. There's no window or anything out into the hallway, so, for that to happen right in front of my face, it was a little, it was pretty exciting, to say the least.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that scares me about going out and looking for this kind of stuff, is that you might actually find it, and it would spook me out. I don't know, Lou. Have you had any personal experience that has creeped you out, like outside?
Yeah.
Whether it be in a haunting hunt.
I've caught in voices before.
Caught in voices. That's one was creep.
I don't have them, unfortunately, anymore. I used to be with a group, OPS, Ohio Paranormal Society.
Used to roll with a crew.
Yeah, and it was there was one experience I had. While I was working. I think I had a run-in with a shadow man.
A shadow man.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like what?
This happened at an apartment complex off of Livingston Road, far east side, Columbus, Ohio. Or not Livingston. Maine. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, far east Maine. And I saw a shadow that couldn't have possibly been there. You know what I mean? That's just, it was at night, but the street lights were on, and I looked over there, I saw a shadow, and it was like the silhouette of a man, but I didn't really think of it that much as I was like surveying the area, and I looked back over, and it wasn't there anymore.
Wow. That's definitely, you take your breath away a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, so I mentioned it to you guys briefly before we went live here, but Nathan, I may have told you this story before. Those of you listening don't know, Lou, you might not even know. Nathan and I have known each other since we were children.
Right.
Nathan and I go way back, and so. As Nathan knows, I used to spend my summers in Plymouth, Indiana as a kid at times, and this was actually in high school. I went back to Plymouth, Indiana to stay. My cousin had just moved in with her boyfriend, and we were a buddy of mine were going there basically just to have an unsupervised weekend.
Right.
To speak openly.
House party.
Yeah, basically to go somewhere and to be able, not have any supervisions. So when we first walk up to this apartment was on Michigan. Was it Michigan Avenue, Nathan?
Yes.
Okay, and so they rented the apartment above. They lived above a store. It was basically a thrift store for all intents and purposes. And so they lived in this second-story apartment where the apartment next door was vacant to the point where, and this was a small town of Columbus where everything was boarded up. I mean, it was vacant,
Right.
but the front door was open.
Right.
I walked into my curiosity.
And there was nobody there.
Yeah, there's nobody there. Yeah, that kind of vacant. The
Yeah.
door's open.
Like,
Nobody's
I know for
in
a
there.
fact nobody's in there.
There's
vacant.
there's
Yeah.
leaves and stuff on the ground from a window being open probably for the last 2 years.
Oh shit.
I walk in there. My cousin, who has my entire life been a big believer in ghosts, told me some of my first ghost stories a lot of which I didn't believe. I was a very big skeptic, especially at this point in my life. I was probably 16 or 17 when this happened. And so I was immediately warned, don't go into this apartment next door. There was a fire in it back in the 40s or whatever, and a family had died or something. I got the full backstory that, again, was one ear out the other.
Right.
Because I didn't believe it, I didn't buy into it. So that's why the details of that backstory are even vague to me, because I wasn't really listening. I wasn't that invested into it at the time. I didn't believe in any of that stuff. So anyway, curious. Of course, naturally with me, the second you tell me don't go in there, that's
I do
all.
It twice.
Yeah, I went in there, checked it out. There was you could tell some stuff had been burned. And, some things had never been repaired.
Right.
But there was still just kind of random stuff strewn about the place, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. No visions, no sightings, no weird noises. Again, I wasn't too tough. I went in there during the broad daylight. So,
right. Well, it's not like you would have known to take a camera with you, or.
Yeah, exactly. I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go check out this place, and so I was staying there for the weekend. So later that night, we were out on the back. I wouldn't call it a patio, but because there was an alley out back, it was a block full of businesses. So
maybe a stoop, maybe a back stoop.
Yeah, a little back stoop. Yeah, exactly. There is a grill and some patio chairs out there. So we're out there grilling.
Okay.
And then my cousin starts telling me the ghost story again about times that she's experienced ghosts in the apartment.
Okay.
And so of course, I got a buddy with me, so we're both kind of showing off for each other. You know how it is when you're a male and you're in your teenage years.
Right.
You're constantly
trying to outdo the other males.
You're peacocking and trying to be a tough
Super
guy and
cool
whatnot. So we both take turns calling up to the window talking shit because my cousin claimed that she saw the ghost, the father of the family, up in the window, up in the neighbor's back window. When I refer to the neighbors, I'm referring to the ghost, basically, the vacant room.
The ghost house.
Yeah, she said she saw the ghost up in the window, and so, of course, we start yelling up, you talk shit to it, like, come down here, if you want to...
You live in impaired motherfucker.
you want to haunt, why don't you come down here, do that kind of stuff, and so...
Terrible.
Yeah, that was great, we hang out a little bit longer. I'm sleeping on the couch in the living room that night, right? And I hear this loud bang in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what it is. It kind of creeps me out. I think to myself, oh, my cousin, she probably has a cat or something, and it knocks something down. Whatever. Right. Curl back up, roll over in the couch, go back to sleep. I wake up, and I guess I should take a step back. My cousin had kept her change in a coffee can above the refrigerator. That's where she kept it, and it was basically full. And I woke up the next morning to that coffee can right at the edge of the couch, right beneath my head. It was just laying right next to my head was this 3/4 full coffee can with the lid off. And so naturally the first thing I do is I talk to my friend. I accuse him of playing a ghost prank on me.
Right.
And then I go through with my cousin and all that. It's my first encounter. My first instinct is just, okay, who tried to prank me? Ha, very funny.
Right.
And everybody swore up and down that they didn't do it. So this coffee can had been in a different room. It was a studio type. There was a bedroom, but the living room and the kitchen shared the same wooden floor. So, but it still traveled a long distance, and I found out that there was no cat. So that was the creepiest ghost, if it was a ghost experience I had, I found out that the sound I heard in the middle of the night was the coffee can falling from the top of the fridge to the ground, yet it was I woke up to it next to my head, and there all the change was in it.
Right.
And stuff. So I don't know what happened there. But it creeped me the hell out.
That is a little creepy.
And toned down my my cynical attitude towards the whole ghost idea. So you guys had any of that ever? You ever heard anything move or watched anything?
Lou, you can go first.
Not really. Not to that level of physical objects moving like that. I wouldn't say that's a rare phenomenon. but that's highly unlikely. I had an outer body experience once.
Ooh, that's something else we can get into.
No, it was a different type. I was ghost hunting, and I closed my eyes, and I saw through the eyes of something else that started to run up on us.
Oh, okay. See, when you went to out of body experience, I first thought
Because there's different types of outer body experiences. It would be technically like remote viewing.
Okay. See, when you said out of body experience, it brought to my mind sleep paralysis, which is something I have.
That's happened to me too.
Woken up in the middle of the night to a bout of sleep paralysis,
yeah.
And when I didn't know what it was,
it's a mind fuck.
Yeah, you instantly your first thought kind of is ghosts or something
freak out, yeah,
because you can't move your own body to your bed. And they're working, and you start to, the shadows start to dance on the wall a little bit.
Right.
There's some hallucinatory elements to it as well, and that was something that creeped me out. But to say that you were standing on your own 2 feet and had an out of body experience like that is completely. Yeah, to me that's much scarier than a coffee can roll into your bed. What about you, Nate? You ever get anything thrown at you? We watched this video earlier of the same cabinet door opening every night at 12:34 a.m.
That's awfully specific time there. That's awfully specific.
Exactly. We view this as a hoax. Actually, I'll probably go ahead and pull up the video.
That's cool. Since we can screen share
and let you see it. So bear with me for 1 second here. I'm going to switch over. Now you two keep discussing. Now you maybe get into the technical aspect of it, because I am a layman when it comes to this stuff.
Right.
I don't know what you bring along with you, because Nate, you're going to come back and join us hopefully next Sunday with a new batch of stories from Waverly. But maybe explain to me how you're going to go about.
Right.
And, like you guys have both been in investigations. Like maybe walk me through one.
Right.
And so I'll know what you're talking about when you come back next week.
What type of equipment do you take with you, Nate?
So I've gained, I don't have a lot of equipment per se, but now what I'm taking to this investigation is I've got a night vision camera. I mean, it's a cheap one, but obviously it works during night vision. It doesn't last very long, which is a downside. But
that is, especially where instances where you're going, and sometimes there's a phenomenon when things happen, they can drain your batteries. So I mean, you can go in with a fully charged battery, a pack of fully charged batteries, and they're just all depleted.
I've also got an extra night vision light for that camera, because I've recently found that it wasn't very good in like long hallways. So this extra light, it'll shine more light down so I can see. You can't, obviously with it being infrared light, you can't see it with your own eyes. It just comes through the camera.
Okay.
I've also got a EMF detector. Ghosts are said to give off electromagnetic energy, which is why things get drained on occasion.
Right. That's electromagnetic field for our listeners there.
Yep. I've also got
EMF detector.
I've got a couple digital recorders. You don't need to be super fancy with those. If you ever go out, you can actually just use your phone recorder. If you're, kind of on the cheap, it does a decent job.
Definitely.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. It's a little bit of a lag for a moment. I picked up most of my equipment exploring this recreation, this hunt, this pursuit
Oh
of the
yeah,
paranormal.
I don't doubt. So okay, so besides like the equipment that
I should also chime in real quick. I have well, I will be picking up a Spirit Box SB7, which, just to explain this, it's well, these viewers can't see it, but take your thumb and your index finger on both and act like you're taking a picture. Make a rectangle. It's about that big. It cycles through FM radio frequencies. It can also do AM, but most of the time people just do FM. And sometimes you might have a radio signal come in clear, but basically it's a way for spirits to use those frequencies to communicate through the spirit box, because it's got technology in there that allows for spirits to manipulate and speak through it.
Clyde Lewis has used one of those on live air before.
That was what I was thinking just as he was talking about that. Yeah, I've heard that episode.
I'm familiar with that. Those are fairly recently too, I think.
Yep, they
Those
do have a
really started to.
But they're within the past 5 years for sure.
Yeah.
Now the last thing that I don't have either of you heard of dowsing rods by chance?
That's an old school method.
So
it's one of the original ways to find the EM fields.
So I've got a pair of those now. Last time I was at Waverly, I'll go more into it later, but I had a lot of positive experiences with a guide there was using them. So I figured this time around, attempt it myself.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, especially if you hold them the way you're supposed to hold them, they do move on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. So, yeah, that's we have. I don't even think it was a night vision camera, and then we even used disposable cameras.
Yep, those work too.
To take pictures. We caught a lot of orbs.
I've never really caught any orbs personally.
Okay.
What is an orb?
An orb is something that we believe that is energy. Sometimes people will try to refute it as dust particles. And yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Orbs in video are a little bit easier to prove as opposed to still pictures, because in a video you can show that it moves a certain way, does a certain thing, it's right there.
Right. Well, we have this video almost ready for you here, Nathan. We're going to see what you think about it.
And in the pictures, you don't have that continuous motion, whereas a video shows a path of flight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Another way is if cold spots and hot spots. Cold spots are typically considered to be your run-of-the-mill friendly activity.
Yeah.
Whereas hot spots are considered maleficent.
Got it. Okay.
And we're going to go to the video.
Yeah, Nathan, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
You got that? Is that full screen on your end, my brother?
Yeah, yeah. I want to tell you guys real quick. My internet's being a little wacky, so after this clip, I'm gonna run real quick, get my hotspot, and change over my internet.
Okay. Okay. All right. We will try to carry on without you. If at any point, if at any point you uh, get bumped off here while we're still watching the video, just go ahead and shoot me a text message so I know you're missing
Okay.
this.
And it says so.
On this for just a you still there, Nate?
It's going in and out. Just give me a quick second.
So what you went over? You went. Is there anything besides like the required technology? Did you try anything? Like, did you bring a Ouija board with you? Or
We didn't
anything
bring a
like that
Ouija
stuff?
board.
Okay.
I've done the Ouija board thing, and that was interesting. As far as going out and hunting, I took, like I said, disposable camera, video camera,
Okay.
EMF reader, and a couple DVRs. And that's touching back on what Nathan said earlier. You know, if you have a group of, let's say, 6 people or so, you'd want to break down a little bit smaller pairs because of the fact if I'm trying to hit a voice recording, you know, that picks up a wide range of noise and voices, and you don't want to pollute your own samples. So when you break off into pairs, you run less of a risk of recording yourselves, essentially, because oftentimes when you have a DVR, you'll ask your question, and then you'll give it the silence of death on radio.
You do ask questions then.
Yeah.
You're not just going out there and just kind of laying down and holding out a tape recorder.
Right.
You're asking it. Okay. So you've got the now. So what did you have? Did you have what, night vision on your camcorder then to try to?
No, I don't believe so. I never actually operated the camera. It wasn't my equipment, so I didn't use the camera.
Got it.
You feel me?
I know that game.
Yeah, you know, I'm not. Yeah. So anyway, I usually ran a recorder, and I would buy a couple of disposable cameras because you can get those on the cheap almost anywhere anymore.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time.
I caught some good pictures too. Again, I mean, it's not mine, unfortunately. We should do this sometime.
Yeah, I've been thinking the same. What's the, help my memory here? What is the name of the reformatory?
Mansfield
Reformatory. That's all it's called.
Right. The old Mansfield Reformatory.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why I think this video is a fake. One that we're gonna.
Yeah, I think it is too, and I really want. I can't wait for Nathan to be ready because
right.
It's
Let us know when you're SpongeBob, Nathan.
I should be okay.
You think you're good now?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want... I'm going to go ahead and rewind it just a tad back to... Wait,
I'd get that SpongeBob joke in there.
Yeah, I know you like that. Well, you know, I would have given you some props for it, but I don't like that show. I don't think kids should be watching that show.
No?
He makes a joke about dropping the soap to Gary.
I remember that, because the doubloons.
Yeah, I don't think you should be making those kind of jokes on Nickelodeon show. My little brother at 8 shouldn't be telling other kids not to drop the soap, alright?
Right?
He didn't know what that means.
No, he shouldn't.
I digress. So, Nathan, we are going to be screenshotting you here, if you are ready for us. Because, yeah, we both kind of... Actually, honestly, most of the videos we watched today, I kind of got the hoax vibe from.
Oh, yeah.
So, let me see what you think
There's
about
this especially.
Yeah, that's always a good disclaimer.
Yeah. There you go. Mr. Sniper. Closing out the little ad spaces.
Call me Wesley.
Nah.
That's something moving right there. Yeah.
It did look like it, didn't it?
Right?
Like there was a fluctuation in the light field.
Must be a ghost that's pretty hungry.
Right?
Right. Oh, yeah. You just wait.
It gets better.
You just wait.
It really gets better.
Some great editing that can be done.
Oh, no doubt. All you have to do is literally take out the frame of the hand on the door.
Did you see that? See the little...
Yeah.
Look like someone's moving inside. Could be the reflection. There it is. And the 1234 thing is always a weird thing. Also, not that they have the stamp on their video to prove the time.
That, and I always heard 333 was the real, like, spook o'clock.
Well, I mean, I suppose it could be different for different ghosts, but
Could be.
like it doesn't deter me from thinking it's real by it happening all at the same time. But also,
that
there's
too.
no proof that it happened the same time.
But I heard 333 because of it being the blasphemy on the Trinity.
There's it again.
And that just looks like a dude holding a flashlight and... Yeah.
I mean, that's very possible right there.
Yeah, because that doesn't look like an orb in the true sense of the idea of an orb.
Yeah, I still can't figure out how they're getting the door open.
An orb would typically come in and out of screen.
Yeah.
But
Like they don't just disappear. They don't just stop being.
These two, we get it from a different angle, which again...
Yeah.
This also... We watched this the first time, and I instantly was just like, oh, well, now he's standing up. Now, this isn't even a static kitchen camera. You can tell clearly he's holding this one.
See, the way I'm looking at it right now, I swear to God, it looks like there's somebody's in there, and there's...
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah. It even looked like there was a reflection of the flashlight in man. You saw that.
Yeah, but I will say, I'm wondering... The thing is, I'm wondering... It looks... Because he's standing pretty much directly in front of the door, and I don't know how much, like, ambient light or anything... Other than the the light on the left side there, if it's some sort of his reflection though, I mean, because it's not
right.
very,
It's taken from this camera, and that looks like a flashlight.
My computer is locking up on me a little bit.
And it gets more interesting once he goes into handheld. I'm trying to think of the movie. Poop.
Wish this part would come off.
technology is just not our friend right now.
When we're at the edge of my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi has not been super great this whole summer, and I don't know why.
So if you look,
This is, yeah.
like right about where if the screen is popping up, whoops, that's where you can kind of see that light where it looks
Yeah.
like there's a person
About
standing in
3/4 of
there.
the way up the door in the middle.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really tell because yeah, I mean, it looked like there was legs. It was like somebody standing straight, normal, and their legs were spaced a little bit, but
But yeah, and then
Oh, it gets even better, dude.
because they walk up to the pantry and there's no room for anybody to get in there. But yeah, I'm still leaning that this is some good trickery here.
And there you go.
Look at that, dude. Right? How creepy was that?
wait, go back again.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Right there.
Nope.
Yeah, okay.
That's good enough. To see almost immediately.
Yeah, wait,
Ba-choom.
look in the glass. In the
I don't think
door.
it's glass.
Whatever that is, just look into it. Boom, you see that? Did you see it?
What in the fuck?
Right?
Oh, it gets better. He
It
claims
gets
to
better?
invite somebody over.
Yeah, I'll turn the volume on for this last part. It might get a little bit echoey for those listening as it goes through our microphone, but I think it's worth. You get to hear. I mean, I still think this guy, if it is an act, this guy could easily just be in on it. But
Yeah. Well, we don't know who this people knows. We don't know who this guy's friends are.
right. And what is weird is you can hear him say like "go go 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 go."
Yeah.
On this.
Get out of here! Let's get out of here!
Well, no, I'm talking about before.
Well, remember, because they run out of the place.
Yeah, I'm talking about before the ghost. Just watch it.
Hi, I'm John. It's day 10, 12:03 a.m. Still nothing happening.
Dun dun dun.
See, it looks like there's legs right there at the bottom, though. Like somebody's wearing long shorts that go way past the knees, and you can tell there's legs.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I see it right down there.
Yeah.
And see there are the hands. Boom. See them?
Yeah.
See them over the top? You see some hands up there.
Oh my god, dude. The hell is that? Oh shit. Oh my god. Go, go, go. Well, go, go, go. Dude. Look out.
But yeah.
Well,
Are we back? Hey, we're back on. You there, Nathan?
Yeah, what happened on your end, or was it on my end?
I
I
think
don't.
we lost connection on ours.
Yeah, we seem to be back at it again. That's gonna turn out when it's time to upload this video, but I'll take it. We're back, and we'll
Back
be better
again.
than ever. So Nathan, did you get to see the whole video then?
Okay, so the last part that that happened, obviously they're in the door, the camera was pointing at the bottom, the dude with his hand was in. Um, if you got a link, this obviously it's not going through here real well. Um, I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, garage door open again, or not the garage. Did you see the pantry door open again while
Well,
that dude was
it
standing in front
opened.
of it?
So the entity or whatever, whether it's fake or whatever, it was in there, and then it like turned into a white mist, and the door opened, and they were searching in there after he said go
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that was the end of it.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I saw it all.
Okay, yeah. So what do you think? You think it was just a well done hoax there, or there's some legitimacy to that?
I mean, I have a feeling it might be a hoax, just because
Yeah.
you don't necessarily, especially when you're looking for evidence, you're not necessarily going to get something that defined and clear. I mean,
Exactly.
there's always that possibility, but I mean, I
That
don't
is
know. That
extremely rare.
I don't have a good feeling that it was, anything more than some hoax or something.
Well, that's what we were thinking too, because in my
Right.
attempt to try to do some more research for this, I kind of went that route of I'm going to watch some videos, do some internet research, this, that, and the other, and it
Right.
just nothing really led to anything that looked legitimate, honestly.
Yeah.
It all just seemed kind of like there were a lot of hoaxes, which is the sad part when Lou and I deal with that a lot in our conspiracy research and when we're looking for topics to discuss on here, and it was something that at least I ran into here, was trying to find some good, honest opinions or evidence of ghosts. I kept running into more and more hoaxes, which just makes the whole thing look less legitimate, which is unfortunate because there are a ton of people in this world that I think this is the most ridiculous conversation that they've ever heard, and refuse to believe that ghosts are real or there's anything like that. And I think some of that has to do with some of these obvious fakes that get put out there.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah. You know what mind boggles me is I know, a couple of people growing up. They were big like believers of demons, and I mean that comes big time from their religious background. But for you to believe something like that and then not believe, that there's other entities like that, I mean, it's like, well, why are you cherry picking? Because personally, for me, I lump those two together. Not that they're the same, but you have to have some sort of energy there for it to manifest in whatever way it manifests. So I don't know how you can just cherry pick things out of a basket like that.
Yeah, exactly. And then where some of this research did take us, well, at least where it took me, was the idea that ghosts could be demons, or Lou, we discussed the jinn for a while. That there's no reason to say that these things couldn't be one and the same. There was also the idea brought out that it could be a sort of a stamp in time, where it's when you're seeing a ghost or hearing a ghost, you're actually just sort of seeing a fragment from that time.
That imprinted.
Yeah, that was imprinted in that area. But yeah, I mean, it would be weird for me to listen to, say, a Christian say that they don't believe in ghosts, because I'm like you, where I don't necessarily lump demons and ghosts as the same thing, but it's kind of, why couldn't it? If you're saying God exists, then demons exist, And so, isn't it possible that what we see are as ghosts could potentially just be that?
Right. Us being played.
So yeah, so that I'm excited. I wish I was going with you to Waverly this weekend. Honestly,
Yeah.
now I can't wait to hear something cool. I know you already told me no expectations, so I have
Right.
no expectations for you. But I'm sure you'll get to, at the very least, get to take some pictures of some stuff that looks cool over there. I'm sure you can tell me. Does the place just have an overall creepy vibe? I've been looking at pictures, but that doesn't
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily do
do it
anything
any justice. Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull something up on here. Now it's camera to computer, so just be patient if it's not very bright. But basically, let me find a good one. I mean, that's just, I don't know if you can see that really, but that's on one of the floors there. I mean, that's just like every floor basically.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty creepy.
That screams sanitarium.
So,
Yeah.
and
So
I
at the
mean,
very least, we'll have that to look forward to.
Definitely.
I mean, this was afterwards, but I mean, that's a panorama of the backside. So,
Okay.
If you can this time around, try to send me some of those. If you get any good pictures. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Because like you said, the camera holding up to the camera doesn't really do it justice. So this
Right.
weekend when you go, maybe send me some pictures,
And we can
and then
share with our listener.
yeah, and then that way
Hi, Mom.
when we when we get you on the air on next Sunday, I can actually have those pictures and I can screenshot those and pull them up so you can kind of show us what you're talking about as you talk about it.
well, yeah, I will say one of the big experiences I had last time. I'm probably going to tell you that it's 100% not going to happen. Um, and just to give a little information about it, you can go into the morgue and you can actually lay in the bottom body tray.
Oh God.
Yeah. So, and previously in this week, like 3 days before I went, I had an old childhood friend pass away in a car wreck.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
I had all that energy dealing with that, and as soon as I laid down in the morgue, dude, all I felt just death, sad, just all that energy, that was in the morgue, just I got all that energy in there. And I could not stay in the morgue for maybe then a minute, and every time I walked by, all that feeling would come back.
Right.
So that's their way of communicate. That was a way for spirits and stuff communicate through me. It was not a very good feeling, to say the least.
yeah, I can only imagine.
I legitimately started to get really upset and cry basically because it was just death. I mean, that whole place is just death.
Right.
If I am not mistaken, over 1,000, I think, died. Whether it was through obviously the TB or other reasons.
Right. Malpractice.
Yeah, because they did some really interesting, and by interesting, I don't mean it's good. It's just I just would like to know what goes through your head to like, oh, this will work. Where they would take out up to 8 ribs and deflate the lungs because they thought that would give the lungs time to heal. But basically, you're giving somebody where they have to lean over the rest of their life, however long that is.
Right.
Jesus, yeah.
They even did lobotomies there too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those practices back then, that's
Lots of human rights violations.
some scary stuff. So I imagine any souls that would be left back there would maybe not be in the best mood.
No.
So I could definitely see how you would have gotten that feeling. And that is just, that's intense. And see, that's the stuff and that's why I was asking you guys about, outside of the technical side,
Right.
because that's the kind of stuff that maybe you don't pick up with a reader. There's
Right.
maybe no scientific way to actually pick that up, but it's there. You can feel it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the only way you're ever going to know that feeling is if it happens to you. It's the same thing with your hair standing up. I mean, I could show you, but unless you're going to actually happen to it yourself, I mean, what do you take it as?
Right.
Exactly. And you got me excited. I'm gonna start doing some research. The three of us need to go on a trip and just make a whole thing out of it sometime soon.
Make it a threesome.
Make it a threesome. Go find some old dirty hotel room to podcast from when we're done. A real one of my more deeper fantasies there.
Really?
No.
Get an hourly motel.
Yeah. Hourly, and half an hour is fine. They have half-hour rates. That'll work for me.
Well, what am I going to do with the other 29 minutes and 46 seconds?
That's up to you.
I don't think I don't think he's 14-second material there. So.
Yeah, it's only about 12. Nathan, it's getting to be that point in time where we're gonna have to close up shop here because I have to get up and go to work at about 6:30 in the morning. But we were glad to have you. I really hope that. Now, are you coming back on Saturday next week? Are you gonna be able to meet up with us to do sort of a follow up next Sunday?
Yeah, I can. Make more so in the evening because I will be at that point have had no sleep for over. Because it's basically, I get there at like 11, starts like 11:50-ish in that range and goes all the way till 8 a.m. So
right,
got to give me some sleep and go from there.
Okay, well, I will make sure that we do that. We usually podcast late on Sunday evenings anyway. We'll make sure we reach out to you. We'll get you on here, and we'll just find out what else happens to you at Waverly, and maybe you'll get yourself some of this Bobby Brown action.
Yeah.
And you can tell us about that.
Ectoplasmic orgasmic.
Yeah, ectogasms, and get yourself some stone cold foreplay.
Right.
And we'll.
No, unlike Bobby Brown, I got some standards here. So.
Ooh, the low blow, man's not even.
It's
here
his
to defend,
prerogative.
So see, it's his prerogative, Nathan's. Yeah, and man, we might drag you down to our level next week and make you talk about a conspiracy or two. Maybe liven things up, get your opinion on something. Well, we'll see. We'll bring a topic to you and see if you're game for it. How about that?
I'll probably be game for just about anything.
Oh,
there you go.
We're gonna hold you to that one. All right, man. Well,
don't write any checks Kevin's booty can't cash.
Well, to all of you who may end up listening to this podcast, I'd like to say thank you. And Nathan, again, thanks for joining us.
Happy Halloween, folks.
Yeah, happy Halloween in 4 months.
It's always Halloween.
When you love candy.
Nighty-night, folks.